Okay, now I'm inside of the Janome MBX program. Now I love this program. I find it one of the easiest, most intuitive digitizing software programs I've ever owned, and I've got a few programs. Its only drawback, the imposition of 100,000 stitches and no auto splitting for the 12,000K. To me it's not a problem. I don't own the 12,000K, but I quite understand the frustrations of those of you who do, and who've got the MBX software and the Horizon Link software. Now, I have no idea how the Horizon Link works because I don't have the machine and I don't have the link. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open, and I want Morn Part 1. And I'm going to tell that open, and it opens a new hoop. It's taking a moment to recognize the stitches, because I'm actually in the wrong program doing this. And there is part 1 of the design, and now I'm going to bring in part 2. I'm not going to attempt to save this for a moment. What I am going to do is I'm going to edit, select all, edit, group. Now that means if I move anything on here, I move everything. So now I'm going to go to embroidery, insert design. I'm going to bring in part 2. Tell that open. That has to take a moment. It's got to translate what it's seeing because, as I say, I'm in the wrong part of the program for this. And it's thinking about it. And there's part 2, and I'm going to group those. Edit, group. There we go. And I'm going to blow this up because I've seen something I don't like. This bit. It's done something weird. It's lost a fill, and it would appear to have lost a few fills. So now I'm going to go into editor, because that's really where you should go. Save changes, no. And now we have a pause. So I'm going to pause the video. Right, we're in Easy Edit, and it's opened part 1 of the design. It's at this point I can now save the design. I can print a template, file, print preview. There we go. I'm actually asking my machine, my computer that is, to do rather a lot of work. It's got embird open, it's got Digitizer MBX open, it's got the internet open, and it's recording the screen. This is my template, and you print that out and you join the sheets together. You can see here, these are your crosshairs that you have to match up for when you join it. And I can save that design then. I want to close this, and your crosshairs actually are very, very handy. Now I'm going to save this as a design. File, save as, and I'm going to save it as part 1 Morn Jeff. But I'm not saving it as a Jeff, I'm going to save it as a JPX. Save. And now it's saved that as a JPX, which is the format that your 12,000 uses. And now I'm going to open part 2. I saved it as a Jeff Plus, thank you. Thought for one awful moment there it hadn't saved it. Now it won't place it on top of this one. It opens a new hoop, and there it is. And I go and I create a template from this one. File, print preview, and there's no gap on that wing as far as I can see. When you open an Easy Design, it tries to translate the stitches, and if it sees a stitch it's not certain what's been used, it doesn't make a faithful translation. No, that wing looks solid. And you join these sheets in exactly the same way as you joined the first design sheet, and you print him out. Close that. So now I save this one. File, save as, or is it gone JPX? So I close this and I go back to, I don't want Design Gallery. Oh, I see. I hit the wrong one. Easy Design. And I'll pause the video again. Okay. Now we're back into MBX Easy Design. And Easy Design is not a stitch format handler. So things could go awry. Embroidery, insert design, and we want JPX. Morn part 1. Open. The program is working out exactly what it is that I want, and it's trying to translate the stitches. It makes a guess at the tools that might have been used and the stitch types that might have been used, and occasionally it gets it wrong because of course there's no information about the tools or the stitches. And that's the first part has come in, and there are the crosshairs. Click onto an empty spot, and I'm going to use the beaks as my point of reference. Insert design, Morn part 2, and I want to see what's happened to this bird wing, because it didn't happen in Easy Edit, because Easy Edit is a stitch handler. Easy Design isn't. It's an objects creator, and it does make a valiant effort, but you can already see it's created a couple of MEBs. Right. Yeah. It can't read what that is in there. And that's not there when you go into Easy Edit. This program actually changes it. There it is there. That shouldn't be like that. Right, let's look at these beaks. If you own MBX, just bear in mind, and you see this look. Now that didn't happen inside of Easy Edit. It's only happened here in Easy Design. But I've only brought it into Easy Design to show you that the design did split properly and it will align properly. There are the bird's beaks, and they're fitting exactly where they should do. And that's great. But do all your stitch files in Easy Edit if you're an MBX owner. Okay, that's that. Now I'm going to look at this inside of Save Changes. No, I don't want them. I'm going to look inside of embird. So let's bring embird back up. Take this back to 0 because there we go. In case you're wondering what all the red is, that's the split. Only now it's all married together, and that's why it's showing it to me. So I close that up. And the design is back where it was. I highlight the design thumbnail. I think it's all the way back to where it was. Let's come off again. Yeah, we're right back to the beginning. And tell that, no thank you, I'm done with you now. Delete. Okay, file. Now we'll go into open and odds birds. Morn part 1. Okay, there it is. Okay. Merge Morn part 2. No, I want part 2. Thank you. Okay, it doesn't read JPX, and it's come in perfectly, and there's no gaps on that wing. And just to show you, you see, there are no gaps there whatsoever. Easy Design failed to recognize what that stitch was, and so it didn't show it. Easy Edit didn't fail to recognize it. It knew it was a stitch. But Easy Design doesn't have any stitches. It has recipes. Without the recipe there to tell it what was meant to be in there, it could only guess at it. And this is how you can check to see whether or not your design has split nicely and will go together correctly. And you can see that the beaks are in the correct position. Let's bring it up so as we can see the beaks. There you go. They're in the right position. Everything is where it should be. So embird does a lovely job of splitting by stitch count, and as long as you save each split selected as, you'll get an exact placement. So I hope that helps all of you who own embird basic, and all of you who own the 12,000K, and all of you who own MBX. Now those of you who own MBX and do not own embird, don't give up yet. They are aware of the fact that there is this 100,000 stitch limit and that owners are not happy. So who knows what might appear soon. That's it then, that's the end of my videos. And I hope it's shown you how you can stitch out the big designs on your 12,000 in your large hoops, even if they are thread painting designs. And I think that is a beautiful design. I'm off.